IGN Fan Fest 2025 is here. From Monster Hunter Wilds to Mythic Quest, Daredevil Born Again,
let's dance,
to Devil May Cry. Coming up, the ID at Xbox Showcase. We'll be getting a look at upcoming projects from Don't Nod, NeoWiz, and Raccoon Logic. Plus, new looks at what's coming to hit games like Balatro. IGN Fan Fest Day 1 starts right now.
Hi, I'm Martin Tweed, former CEO of Kindred Aerospace. Fired by Alta Interglobal and abandoned on the far edges of space with no gear, no job, and no plan. But don't panic! While they may have tossed you aside like so much garbage, worry not! Because you can always turn to Kindred for a solution. Introducing the Kindred Catalog. With the right resources, you can create tools such as the Goo Cannon from Sappers. Smother creatures in viscous green goo to make them slip instead of eating you. Disgusting. Or use your lasso to catch them. We promise that any research conducted will unlock more fabulous gear and that the harm to the creature will be minimal. Use conductive pharaoh goo to shock and open organic doors, or spread it on the ground to slow down a speedy foe. Or lay down a goo fuse. Then after your buddy has upgraded that pacifier pistol with a charged shot, light them all up. If that doesn't work, try
the Mad Fork from Kindred Labs.
Move mountains. Create platforms. Grab makeshift spears from the environment. And remember, you still have
your lasso and whip from Wild Times.
Whip some critters to keep them at bay so you or your buddy can punt them off a cliff. Oh, the hilarity that will ensue. Then upgrade that whip so you can grapple launch yourself to new heights. Or better yet, kick a few critters into the air while you and your buddy pick them off with a brand new
Griffin Splunker pacifier pistol.
It's a homemade skeet shooting game. The Kindred Catalog. You have the tools, you have the imagination, and let's face it, you have the time. Find it, build it, then execute it. The wackier the plan, the juicier the solution. I'll be in touch. Onward and upward.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 ID at Xbox Showcase right here on IGN Fan Fest. The ID at Xbox Showcase is all about games, and this year we've got exclusive reveals of brand new games you've never seen before, some great stuff coming to games you already know and love, and a bunch of awesome surprises along the way. And I'm your host, Akeem.
And I'm Alan Wheeler. It's always an honor to join forces with our friends at Xbox to bring you the latest of what Xbox fans will be playing next, wherever you play your Xbox games. You just got a brand new look at Revenge of the Savage Planet, the new sci-fi action-adventure game coming your way this May.
The ID at Xbox 2025 Showcase is all a part of IGN Fan Fest, which will be going strong all week long, so be sure to tune into that. And we'll have interviews with some of the most talented directors, actors, writers, and game makers in the world, and new looks at things like Daredevil Born Again, Mythic Quest, WWE 2K25, and so much more. And hey, if you missed any of that, don't stress it. You can easily catch up on IGN.com or IGN's YouTube page.
But for now, let's get back to the ID at Xbox Showcase with a sneak peek at some big games heading to Xbox in the not-so-distant future. Take a look.
Warning, hostile ships detected.
Yeah! Rise and shine, little merchant. Wake up. Wake up, Will. Get ready. Your next journey unfolds. A new place to call home. Uncharted lands brimming with peril. And treasures beyond imagination. Tread carefully, though. Who knows what tomorrow holds?
I, Herbert S. Sinclair, give to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision is contingent on discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. Any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts in a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room, then his gift shall lapse. Herbert S. Sinclair.
You just gotta look at Jump Ship, Echo Weaver, Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault, and Blueprints. You can sign up for the Jump Ship beta today at jumpshipgame.com. And Blueprints, the gorgeous puzzle game, will be arriving day one on Xbox Game Pass. Now, believe it or not, we're only just getting started here. Coming up, 4 more games we can't wait to show you.
That's right, the 2025 ID Xbox Showcase has tons more game reveals and surprises in store right here on IGN FanFest. But first, we need to take a quick break. Stick around. FanFest is presented by the Army National Guard, serving our communities and helping those in need. Are you ready to make a difference?
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow!
Exactly. Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today. IGN Store has it all. From clothes and collectibles to vinyl records, accessories, model kits, and action figures from the biggest and best franchises like The Legend of Zelda, Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons & Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop culture passion, you're guaranteed to find something you love. There are new and exciting products hitting the store every week, like the Wasteland-ready Fallout Vault 33 hoodie, which pairs perfectly with the working wearable Pip-Boy. Plus, high-quality IGN Store exclusives like the powerful and spicy Star Wars Darkside Hot Sauce by Truff. We've even got merchandise for you to rock while tuning in to the IGN shows and podcasts you love. Or cap off a long day by relaxing to the soundtracks of your favorite video games, like Cyberpunk and The Last of Us. And the best part? You don't even need to leave the house to go there. Just head to store.ign.com and start shopping today. The IGN Store. You deserve it.
Hey, welcome back to ID at Xbox right here on IGN FanFest. Now up next, we have 4 more games we can't wait to show you, starting with Outbound. So let's go.
You just saw Outbound, Hurdling, Wax Heads, and the Lonesome Guild, all part of the 2025 ID at Xbox Showcase.
Now let's get back to the video game, shall we? Now up next, we have a few things you've never seen before and some great content coming to games you probably already love.
But hey, enough teasing from us. Let's roll it.
Let the game begin.
How painfully human.
Taste the chains of despair. I'll burn you to the bone!
Should we just put some cards on the table?
You know what they say, the house always wins.
Looks like the joke's on us.
You know, just when I thought I couldn't possibly be more hooked on Balatro, they drop a collaboration I'm already obsessed with. That one was huge, but this next world premiere is gonna rock your world. Check it out.
Tonight on Behind the Curtain, we dive deep into one of the 90s most controversial bands.
It was beyond our wildest dreams.
Their music defined a generation.
What can I say, man? Artistic genius is a curse.
The man behind this meteoric rise, their notorious manager.
He drove from out of town to meet us. We were waiting at this bar.
We'll be paying this guy, so I want to know. What exactly will you do for us?
Plain and simple, I'll make you rich. You know why I'm here, lad? I'm here to f you over.
Make me stray, Pharaoh.
If there
rich, drowning in women, piss through it all.
Oh my God, Vernon!
I know where this road leads, and it ain't nowhere pretty.
Looking for trouble?
Effervescent, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll. So, I gotta ask, would you do anything differently?
What exactly will you do for us?
Mostly, I just try to stay out of your way.
That's it?
That was the world premiere and release date reveal for Rock Beasts, and it looks like it absolutely rocks. You know, everybody knows that rock beats scissors, paper beats rock, and scissors beats paper, but a beast would probably just destroy all of them, let alone a rock beast.
You know, that's something I never had to think about until right now, but it's actually pretty true. So thanks for that information, Al. I appreciate it. All right, well, there's tons more IGN Xbox Showcase coming up right after this quick break, so please stick around.
FanFest is presented by Mecha Break. Open beta available now on PC and Xbox with crossplay.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
Welcome back to IGN Xbox on IGN FanFest. Up next, 3 more games guaranteed to put a smile on your face, especially if you were fond of a certain rhythm-based strategy series that involved commanding an army of little creatures to the tune of a catchy soundtrack. Sound familiar? Here's a gameplay clip from the upcoming rhythm-based roguelike Ratatan.
We all keep our favorite moments close to us, somewhere safe. This box holds mine. Welcome to Widow. This is a cozy, story-driven game about my happiest memory, summer in the countryside. Let me show you. It's simple. Just drag each object to its place, assembling the story, piece by piece, cup to cup, cat to cat. One summer, I was sent to the countryside. You know, a place that's not marked on any map. I used to be such a city girl, always online, always busy. Spending my whole summer in a forsaken village? No thanks. But here I am, surrounded by a gang of geese, clearly thinking they're the biggest deal around here. But who had been feeding them so well? Perhaps a goose grandma who always says they're too skinny? I had to fight a sneaky goat every day from my own backpack, cheered on by the laughter of the tiny yellow goslings. And that's how the story starts. My first day in a sweet village, full of joy, friendly faces, and welcoming warmth from the locals. Lovely place. But, you know, everything changed when I met Ben.
That was Tempopo, Ratatan, and Widow. And honestly, saying those three very different game names in a row makes them sound like a roving band of like mischievous elves or three aliens in the very back of a Star Wars cantina.
You know what? You might be onto something with that one. Now, we're getting close to the finish line here today, but that doesn't mean we're out of surprises for you just yet. We've got lots more new games to show you, plus a huge update coming to one of the best games of the generation. All this and more as the 2025 ID at Xbox Showcase continues after this break.
FanFest is presented by War Robots Frontiers. Pre-register now for an exclusive reward.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know what movies are on it or where they rank.
What do you mean you don't know?
Each episode will reveal one of the movies.
Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed it. That was good. I liked it.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Are you not entertained?
Are any of the movies we've shown here even on the list? I have no idea, and it drives me crazy. Join us as we find out on Cinefix, IGN, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Why so serious?
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Welcome back to the 2025 ID at Xbox Showcase right here on IGN's FanFest. Now up next, we've got a bunch of new game trailers to show you, so hey, instead of just teasing you and making you try to guess what we're going to show you, we'll just cut to the chase and give you what you want. Take it away.
This is Pon. He's a Tanuki. This summer, by order of the Tanuki god, Pon has to restore the Great Tanuki Shrine. To do so, he needs to earn money. Pon takes on the role of the delivery Tanuki, mixing hard work with stunting around town. It's a busy summer for Pon, but even Tanuki need to rest now and then. This is Pon Summer. We hope you'll enjoy the adventure together. Tanuki, Pon Summer. Available on Xbox Game Pass later this year.
Cora, Beck, Tron. Every grid has its heroes. The Arc grid fractures into the glitch, but one program stands against that storm. Exo. You. A hero is nothing without their grid. Exo fights for hers, against those who would tear it apart. She must escape Core, but escape is not enough. A loop cannot be broken without a change in conditions. Break the Loop program.
That was Tanuki Pond Summer, Descenders Next, Tron Catalyst, and 33 Immortals. A little something for everyone, and that's the truth. But hey, if the truth really isn't your thing, you probably love the 2023 action game Lies of P that turned the classic story of Pinocchio into a brutal steampunk horror world full of terrifying puppet monsters.
Yeah, but 2023 was so long ago, so maybe you're asking yourself, when are we gonna get to go back to the world of Lies of P and experience a whole new adventure? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we have your answer right here and right now on the 2025 ID at Xbox Showcase. Take a look.
Listening to this song always reminds me of you. But now you belong to the past. Do you remember the time we all gathered to play this piece together? I never got to say farewell. I know it changed everything, but we endured. Perhaps someday, if we can cross the bounds of time, we'll meet again.
And there you have it, the exciting reveal of Lies of P Overture from the brilliantly talented team at NeoWiz. That just about wraps us up here at the 2025 ID at Xbox Showcase here on IGN. And it was a blast.
Yeah, but wait, if you want even more fun for Xbox fans, stick around, because Unlocked is our weekly Xbox podcast here at IGN, and we've got a whole post show coming your way with special guest Guy Richards, the head of ID at Xbox.
And believe it or not, the ID at Xbox Showcase is just day one of IGN FanFest, and we've got 4 full days of fantastic stuff just for you, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, continuing each day all week long. And we'll have new looks at things like Mythic Quest, Daredevil Born Again, WWE 2K25, Alien Rogue Incursion, the new horror comedy The Monkey, and tons more. Check out IGN.com for the full schedule and IGN's YouTube channel for anything you might have missed.
But for now, thank you all so much for watching the ID at Xbox Showcase and celebrating all these fantastic game reveals with us at IGN. It's always an honor to partner with Xbox to help bring you the future of Xbox games. We'll see you again very soon.
Welcome to Podcast Unlocked. It is IGN's weekly Xbox show. You just watched the latest ID at Xbox Showcase presented by us, IGN, but also, of course, a whole bunch of cool developers and the ID at Xbox team at Microsoft. My name is Ryan McCaffrey joining you. This is officially episode 681 of Podcast Unlocked. And joining me, as always, Michael Hyam. Good to see you, sir.
Hi, thanks for having me every week, because you have to have me on every week now.
That's right. It's in the contract. It's done. I signed it in blood. There's nothing I can do about it now. You can go off the rails, and I'm stuck with you. Really, that's right. That's what it amounts to.
Say less.
Miranda Sanchez, I know you're still not feeling great, but just thank you for being here. I know it's been a bit of a tough road for you lately.
Yeah, this is one where I'll encourage you to watch the video because I'll be doing a lot of movement, talking. I'm a bit of a frog. This is the best I could get my voice right now, so please bear with me. And I'm glad to be back, though. I missed y'all.
We missed you too, and hopefully your voice has regained its full strength here fairly soon. And then our special guest here, just next to me on the screen, is Guy Richards. He is the ID at Xbox director. Guy, thank you so much for hanging out with us here.
Hey, it's cool to be here. Big fan of the show. Been listening for years. Drive to work, walking the dog, all that kind of thing. So, yeah, really excited to talk about some of the awesome games we've just seen.
Well, we've got plenty of them. I mean, I think there were 22, maybe, if I had my count correct, something like that. But I wanted to just kind of start real quick. If you could tell the audience, what does ID at Xbox director mean? Like, because I know, like, with us, we get the people that aren't in our world. When we try to explain what it is we do, they'll be like, oh, so you play video games all day. And it's like, actually, no. But with you, I actually think I might be guilty of doing what other people do to me, because as the ID at Xbox director, my guess is you play video games all day and try to figure out which ones are a good fit for the ID at Xbox program. So in all seriousness, what sort of does your role encompass?
Yeah, I mean, definitely playing games is part of it, right? But there's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of boring stuff that I guess goes on behind the scenes in terms of just trying to make it easier for independent developers to come to Xbox. Everything we do is centered around trying to empower independent developers to make the games that they want to build and ultimately reach a multi-platform audience through Xbox. So we're always looking at ways that we can make it easier for developers to find new players on console, PC, and cloud. So like all of the endpoints and devices that make up the Xbox ecosystem today. And yeah, part of that involves like looking at games early, trying to understand like what games are a great fit for some of the different initiatives that we've got. I'm here at DICE, so the conference in Vegas this week, so hanging out with some developers. So great opportunity to meet some of the existing partners that are on the program, looking at some of the games that they've got coming to Xbox, where maybe we might dive a little bit deeper in their go-to-market plans and give some feedback and look at ways that we can really partner together on all of their different marketing activities and the ways that they want to bring games to Xbox, as well as meeting like new studios that haven't shipped games on Xbox yet, and finding ways that we can help them bring those games to Xbox. So our Xbox fans can experience those games in the future too.
So by helping them out, I'm guessing that means in some cases funding. Is it in some cases maybe providing dev kits? Like, kind of, can you give a top level idea of sort of what that means when you're trying to help developers get games to market?
Yeah, so there's a whole host of things that we do, right? So getting access to dev kits, SDKs, technology, all the resources that studios need to build games is one part of it. And any developer that signs up for the ID at Xbox program, where we have more than 5,000 studios worldwide at the moment, they get access to like all the same level of like technology and kits that like any other studio worldwide does. We then provide a ton of resources and different teams to help studios go through the process of what's required to ship a game on Xbox. And we connect them with different experts as well, either through like one-to-one meetings where we're looking at the plans that studios have got for their games, or through different events tailored to help developers on different areas of like working with Xbox. So like the Xbox store team will do kind of more like store-focused events where we'll go over like KPIs and best practices and all like the tips and tricks that like help you do like pre-orders and wish lists and like when to do trials, how to promote your game so you can like once the game's launched have like really sustained like commercial success on the platform, through to events that are more like technical focused as well in terms of like how to build a game for the Xbox ecosystem today and take advantage of some of those tools that are available that make the experience for players across console, PC and cloud are really seamless, like cross-save, cross-progression, and all these kind of things. So there's a whole host of things that we do in terms of like educating developers, giving them access to technology. And then we work really closely with some of the other programs at Xbox, like Xbox Game Pass. So there's a bunch of games today where they've got a partnership with us to bring their game to Game Pass. So there's like a funding element that's included there. And then we have some funding programs within the Idea Xbox team itself, like our developer acceleration program, where we're already supporting over 150 underrepresented creators that are getting either like port funding or prototype funding to kind of bring those ideas to the Xbox audience as well. So there's a ton more things that I didn't mention, and I've already mentioned lots. So there's just a huge amount of ways that we work with studios to make coming to Xbox easier.
It sounds like no 2 days are the same for you.
It's a fair thing to say. Yep.
I mean, I want to kind of ask something as well that I've been curious as I've gone to a lot of Idea at Xbox events. I think GDC last year, I talked with the developers of Dungeons of Hindenburg, which was pretty big for Idea at Xbox, and that showcase had so many different games from around the world, developers from around the world, and you get to support developers who might not have access to the same resources. I'm like connected to the Southeast Asian game development scene as well, and so I kind of understand the struggles that other regions have with gaining access outside of something like PC, itch.io, or Steam. So is there anything you could share in terms of how you approach finding developers to help support throughout the world? Because I've seen Idea at Xbox do it, so I imagine that is something that you're constantly working on as well.
Yeah, so we have a global team of Idea Xbox people that are like out there working with studios. Like you mentioned, like Southeast Asia, there is a region that you're connected with. Like that's a really big focus area for us. Xbox has like a dedicated team out there with people in Thailand and Singapore, South Korea, working with studios in that region. And we just had the new DLC for Lies of P from Neowitz, that are South Korean team.
Yep.
So we've got, some areas where we have really dedicated support, but a really like global team as well, making sure that we try and get good representation. And on our Indie Selects program, so like some of the dash coverage that we do monthly to celebrate indie games on Xbox, there's a whole South Korean creator channel which is live on the store at the moment. So again, it's not just about finding games in that in those types of regions, but the efforts really carry through like end to end at Xbox. So you're seeing like our marketing and our store teams like really leaning into the work that we're doing to discover more great games from those regions too.
And I have to imagine that the smallest dev teams you work with are one person. I imagine a lot of Idea at Xbox creators are one person projects. But like, how far does it go the other way? Like, what's the largest teams that you work with?
It's pretty varied, right? So we definitely have studios which can be as small as one person, and then we get up to some of the world's like biggest independent developers that are in the regions of having like hundreds of people making games for them at the same time, right? And I think even if we look at the showcase today, like there's a great variety of content and different ways that games are coming to Xbox. There's studios that have worked with us before that are self-publishing. There's new studios. There's some of some of the industry's leading like independent publishers like Team 17 with titles in there. We're supporting up and coming publishers like Cult Games, which have got 2 games in the showcase. So there's lots of different types of studios, different ways that games can come to Xbox, and we really work to provide the flexibility for whatever way like a game wants to come to Xbox. We can support it.
Now, sorry, Miranda, please go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think one of the things I appreciate most, as we saw in the presentation, is that you guys always do such a great job of selecting such a wide variety of kinds of games too, and really championing, I think, games for all ages as well, which is kind of a big thing. I don't have kids, but I was a kid once, and know like having been a kid, like looking at Xbox, so I was like, oh, that's like the adult machine. But I think with Idea Xbox, I've seen more and more games that are a little bit more kid friendly come to Xbox and be like really championed in a way and very visible, that I think is really important to make it feel a little bit more welcoming to all kinds of people who want to play all kinds of games.
Yeah, definitely. Like we we want to make sure there's a game for everyone and an audience for every game, right? And like we can't always predict like what the size of that audience is going to be, but it's really important to us that, you know, every developer has an equal shot of reaching that audience and having success on the platform. So yeah, I'm just seeing the video for Tempopo rolling at the moment, and yeah, like something like this, right? Like really accessible. Yeah, like really looking forward to playing this one.
Yeah, it's so cute, but also still complex enough to be like, oh, like there's some sort of puzzle element to it and like creativity. And I think those are the really special games to find. And I think without, you know, you guys being able to help champion them, it's kind of hard to find them. So
yeah,
I love Idea at Xbox, so.
Also, I was gonna say, like the music too on this one, like once you listen to it, you just can't get it out of your head. It's so catchy. You just feel like humming it all day.
Now, to follow up on Miranda's point, I'm curious, is there a conscious, active curation that goes on where, like, do you take notice of, oh, we're signing a lot of deck building roguelites. But not very many of physics puzzle platformers. Let's you know, look at some, or is it more just kind of whatever the developers are submitting? I'm just sort of curious how you approach it in terms of the curation for the program.
Yeah, so for the program all up, we're really broad in the approach, right? It's like, you know, we want every developer to be able to bring their game to Xbox. And if that means that we end up with, you know, like 10 puzzle games in a specific like genre and theme, then like that's cool, right? Because we're like opening up the platform for like those developers to be creative and all have an equal shot at reaching an audience. I think when we start to look at some of the initiatives, like, you know, a showcase like this or some of the other showcases that we do throughout the year, or the way that, you know, we work really closely with the Game Pass team to select which content's coming into the subscription service, then I think we start to think about some of those things, right? Like, you know, how many games have we got in a specific genre? Are there some gaps in the portfolio that we want to lean into at any specific moments in time? So, yeah, depending on the initiative, depending on like how we're talking to developers, we can think about it in different ways.
Well, we've got a ton of games to dive into. I guess we can leave you alone for a little bit. We'll pepper you with questions as we go, but let's talk about these games that we just saw in this showcase. I'm going to selfishly just pull the host card and start with my favorite game of this whole thing, which I knew was going to be my favorite going in. Not that there weren't other cool ones, but it's because I've already played this game. I played it a year ago, did a preview. I sat down knowing nothing about it at GDC last year. It blew me away, did a preview, and that preview totally blew up. So everybody else thought it was super cool, and that's Jump Ship. So can you... Guy, before I want to get some impressions of Jump Ship from Miranda and Michael as well, but first, Guy, can you talk a little bit about working with the team there? You talked about various team sizes. I think they said they're like 10 or 12 people right now, but can you you talk about like meeting them and seeing their game for the first time?
Yeah, so it's a 10-person team from Sweden. The co-founders, Daniel and Philip, both come from, or Daniel comes from Coffee Stain and Mojang, and Philip from Hazelight. So, like, we've known the team for a long time before. In fact, I've worked with Daniel when I first joined Xbox, helping to bring Deep Rock Galactic to Xbox when he was at Coffee Stain. So we go a long way back. And yeah, like when they first started the studio, they started sending us some gifts of the game whilst it was early in development, and yeah, we just looked awesome. So we wanted to find a way to help them bring the game to Xbox. I think ever since we first like tried the game, we realized like how ambitious the project was for like a team of that size, and I think that, you know, you can see that in the video today. And like the Nordics as a region, I think has such a strong heritage in co-op experiences. If you look at some of the games again, like the games from Hazelight, It Takes Two, with like games like Dark Tide and Payday, all coming from Swedish developers that like really lean into like co-op experiences. And I think this is just like them taking, like, it's their take on what the region is like really, really strong at. It's got Sea of Thieves vibes in it. So yeah, it's one we're super excited about.
Michael, what'd you think of this one?
I think there's a pretty big appetite for pineapple pizza, Ryan. So you need to watch what you say about it on your notes over here. I'm looking at it. But I also think there's an appetite for this kind of game. I mean, there's, co-op experiences are always welcome around these parts, of course. But like, I think in the advent of something like Helldivers, I think having a lighthearted experience that is also intense in a way, because that game is not necessarily like easy to jump into, or it's easy to jump into, but you really got to be on top of things. And I'm getting some of that impression looking at Jump Ship. And I know that you've played it, Ryan, and kind of likened it to Left 4 Dead in space with a few other elements on top of that. But when I talk to you about it, and when I look at this, it's it seems like it's a very focused game, even though it seems like it has a lot going on. It's, you focus on one core element, and it's that chaotic co-op shooting experience and then you layer things on top. So it looks like something that is going to be like really fun and easy to jump into. That is also not too heavy, because big budget games nowadays, like, they have to layer a lot of things on top, and sometimes there's a big learning curve that comes with that. But I look at Jump Ship and I'm like, oh, I know what that game is about. I know what I'm supposed to do. So just give me it and we'll figure it out. So I think it's nice to see something on this level be included with ID at Xbox. You have the deck builders, you have the isometric action games, you have like the Metroidvania style side scrollers too. But then you also get like a full-on co-op shooter alongside all of those. So that speaks to the variety, and also, the level of production value that you get from different games as well.
Miranda, I know that you love playing co-op action games with friends, with family members. How did Jump Ship resonate with you when you took a look at it here?
First, Hawaiian pizza's great.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. I think it's delicious. It's great. You can find some like really great slices out there. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Sorry, Ryan, you're the odd one out here. You're not on the team here.
I'm sorry. I have to rethink these relationships on this podcast.
We're gonna make you make the pizza now, or no? We'll make you one of the best pizzas in this. That's what we'll do. But no, as you're saying, I really like playing these sorts of like kind of chaos games that are like really fun and goofy with my family and a different group of friends. So I was looking at this, and I've been really into content warning with my siblings, and it's also just very like frantic, goofy, weird. Like there's just like a lot going on, but this is obviously on a very different scale. And I was like, man, we're gonna play the heck out of this. Like, this is gonna be so much fun. And I think the fact that it's coming out for early access in summer too is just perfect. Like, this is the perfect summer game.
Yes.
Like, I just want to dive in. We're gonna get the pizza. Everyone's gonna have a pizza, and we're gonna just sit back and have a great time and just laugh at each other. And I think what I've really liked about games like this and how they sort of promote their games versus some other like more stressful co-op PvE games is how funny they are, but they're not doing like the fake voice chat weirdness. That can sometimes come across a little bit better, and like you can tell they're trying to like crack jokes, but it lands a little weird. But this one, it's all about like just the presence of how they've put together this game, and I think that speaks like so loudly. And so I think that's just something I'm really excited for too.
Yeah, our producer Tayo, I don't know if we want to pull up my preview from last year and roll that as some other. I mean, granted, it's year-old footage, but just like for those that, I think the trailer does a pretty good job of conveying. But if you hadn't seen my preview from last year, or you're not familiar with this, it really is. It's very much Sea of Thieves-y, but then the ground elements when you leave the ship are kind of are pretty Left 4 Dead. You got some FTL in there. So the four of you you're piloting, you are manning, you are upgrading, you are repairing your ship as one of you is flying it around, and you just go to different planets and you go and land on surfaces and do different things. You got a quick glimpse in there in the trailer of space combat as well. Like there's just a really easy, natural co-op mechanic to this, which I think is one reason that it resonated with me so well. Guy, when I know you mentioned that when you first started talking to these guys, they're sending you GIFs obviously over email, so you just get a quick little sample. But when they actually sent you a build for the first time and you played this for the first time, had you already signed them at that point, or is that like you play it and then you instantly go, I need to sign these guys right now?
Yeah, so we run a playtest with the team. I think sometimes developers send us a build and we can just jump in our own time to check it out. But yeah, with this one, like the team arranged a playtest with us. It was pretty early, right? So it was helpful having them there to guide us through the experience. But yeah, just like we had so much fun with it. The coordination that's involved between like you and all your teammates on this one, I think creates for some really emergent gameplay situations, because you've all got your like different tasks and role and jobs that you need to do, like while you're like flying the ship and like somebody's like manning the gunner, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was really fun.
And what I love about this game too is it's not like a job where you just have to play it every night or you're going to fall behind. Like you can just jump in with your friends anytime you want.
What a relief.
Have a good time. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, Miranda, you mentioned great point about summer for the early access on this. That is the perfect time. And quite frankly, that might be the only time that this game has a chance to get noticed this year with how busy it is. But yeah, so I highly recommend people sign up for that closed beta, which was mentioned at the end of the new trailer in this showcase. The URL was there. It was jumpshipgame.com. So do take a look at that. Michael Hyam, which game from this showcase we just watched should we jump to next?
Ooh, maybe it's not the one that will. Well, actually, I think this one will jump out visually. Is Blueprints. Blueprints, as in like royalty, but you're messing around with a house and messing around with layouts. It's like a puzzle game. Blueprints has really caught my eye. I think I've heard of it beforehand, but I think this was the most that we saw of it. This game looks pretty sick. I mean, you have the notes that it has like a Telltale style like art design to it, but something like this where you like really manipulate a 3D space and you choose like all these different rooms, you go through them, and so there's a lot of like puzzle elements to this, and then just going around this creepy house solving these mind-bending puzzles and how the rooms change from one to another. Like this is an example of, I think, the variety that you get and the creativity that you get from games that are more focused on a smaller scale that ID at Xbox showcases. So yeah, is there anything more that you could tell us about Blueprints and like the journey in showcasing it here? And is there anything behind the scenes that we might not get from the trailer that we should know? It's coming soon for April 10th as well. So yeah, I just kind of want to know a little bit more about what I'd be getting into with this one.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job at explaining the game there. I think one of the really unique things here is about like how you can manipulate the house and all the rooms in the house change, creating for different journeys through the game. The publisher Raw Fury is a partner of Xbox that we've been working very closely with since they first like set themselves up as a publisher. Must have been about over 10 years ago now. We worked really closely on some of their first games, like Kingdom 2 Crowns coming to Xbox as well. And yeah, Blueprints looks awesome. I think some of the demos have been really popular. It's got like a lot of anticipation from fans already across the industry. And looking forward to playing this game day one when it comes to Xbox Game Pass. And yeah, it's awesome that they're able to be in a position to finally announce the release date as well.
Sweet.
And
yeah.
It looks like it's probably not spooky, because I know Miranda's not. If it's spooky, she's out, I think.
No, it depends on the spooky. If it's like violent spooky, maybe that's fine. Maybe if it's like, these guys are creepy, but they're my best friends, like that's fine. But if it's like jump scare, no. But this is great. Gothic, puzzly, beautifully moody. That's what I want.
Yeah.
How much have you played so far?
I've played a demo build. It's probably played about 20-30 minutes of it myself personally, but I know people in the team have played a ton of it already. Yeah, I would say this is more like a bit like spooky and mysterious versus like jump scare and all that kind of stuff. So should be good for you, Miranda.
Excellent. Miranda, which game should we jump to next? What do we want to talk about next from the showcase?
It's really hard. I have I take a lot of, someone said, oh, you just look at your phone. I'm like, no, I'm looking at my notes. I have written notes by hand for every episode. Anyway, I would say the next one would be Tanuki Pond Summer.
Oh, so cute.
I love it. There's so many I loved in this, and I was like, that one.
Jumps out at you, Miranda. Not to make you talk too much here.
Yeah,
but.
sorry, I needed a little break there. But obviously the animation in this is just gorgeous, and of course, like the animation special scenes are a little bit different from the gameplay, which also just reminds me of Katamari, like just like the vibes and the look of this town. I also, again, I think what I'm looking for here are just like interesting, lighthearted, and goofy things where you're like doing, shred. It's so funny. You're just doing crazy tricks trying to deliver stuff as a little tanuki, and it's also featured in this trailer like some like little mini games you're gonna play. As we see right now, if you're watching, you do some like baseball, and then you're also gonna, that could also just be a quick thing, but then there's some funny sumo stuff going on. Like I love like a good mini game embedded into like a larger adventure, and this kind of reminded me a little bit of Little Kitty Big City in a way, of how like there's something you have to do, but there's just so much to explore, and even then it's like a really like a bite-sized experience in that exploration, so you still feel like you have that freedom to find weird and cool things and little mysteries, but not be overwhelmed because it's not massive. And I think that's something I want. So even though it's like a late 2025, which is going to be, we don't have a lot of like definitive dates, but knowing that it's going to be a pretty busy end of the year, this is one that I've put a pin in. And I'm like, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you in that wave of massive games coming out, because this is what I want to play. It's very cute.
Yeah, this looked like a more interesting package delivery game to me than, say, Death Stranding. Oh, hey. Death Stranding taking some shots now.
I like Death Stranding too.
I
like delivering packages. What can I say?
This is absolutely adorable, and yeah, it's clearly like a no stress game too, which I think is just nice when you're playing a bunch of deep RPGs and dramas. Like right now, I'm in the middle of Avowed, which we're going to talk about, or we talked about on last episode. So yeah, this will be a nice palate cleanser. Like look how fun and adorable this game is. Mr. Hyam, your reactions on this one?
This is my kind of thing. I love cute. The thing too, like Miranda said, this is Dave Mirra's BMX on top of a bunch of mini games, on top of being cute, on top of being a package delivery game. So I guess I'm just curious, Guy, like how do all these, if you could speak to it, how do all these seemingly disparate elements come together for this game? Like in what context am I playing baseball and then sumo wrestling and then doing a bunch of tricks on my bike to deliver things? Not that I'm complaining about it, but I'm just curious how it all fits together.
Yeah, so the kind of like overall story arch for the game is, so you're a raccoon delivery driver, going around on your bike on the village, but your goal is to earn money to effectively like restore the great Tanuki god shrine in the village. So you'll see that you'll do the bikes and the tricks to help you get around the village. There's like mini games that you'll discover on that journey as well. Yeah, this one's just really charming. Like just see the artwork, you see the game. It just looks like something which just really chill and wholesome to play. So yeah, we fell in love with this one pretty early.
Chill and awesome and stress-free and charm. Those are all things. I feel like the older I get, the more I value those things in games. Maybe it's just because it's nice escapism sometimes. But yeah, this one looks great. So super cool that it's launching straight into Game Pass towards the end of the year here. All right, Guy, you're our special guest this week. I want to give you the next choice. Which game from our showcase shall we talk a little bit about next?
Descenders Next would be a fun one to chat about. So it's the sequel to Descenders from Rage Squid in the Netherlands. And the previous game, Descenders, we had a really close relationship with them on that one. So that game launched into game preview. So they did early access on Xbox. So they wanted to build that game with getting community feedback. And then when it left game preview, it launched into Xbox Game Pass on day one. And it was actually the first time we had done that at Xbox with one of our partners. So that was like a pretty big thing. Like we worked closely with Mike Rose and the team, the publishing team at No More Robots to talk about how that could work and see if they were interested in it. And like they were really, really keen to do it. That influx of players that the game got day one, like really like accelerated the growth of that game, not just on Xbox, but like across the whole industry as well. And, you know, Mike and the team have been really, really vocal about that. So with Descenders Next, like it's got more extreme sports. There's the dirt boarding. They've got snowboarding in there as well. It just looks like really epic, and it's great to see the team like adding like more real-time multiplayer into it as well. So yeah, that's going to come to Game Pass day one on April the 9th, and it just feels like one of those really like arcadey pick up and play games that you can jump in with your friends. I've sunk a lot of time into the first one, but it's also the type of experience that I'll like jump into in between playing like big RPGs and that kind of thing, because you can just do a couple of runs and try and beat your friends' times on those runs. So yeah, this one is one that I'm really looking forward to playing when it comes out.
Yeah, I really like, this is like a weird thing to point out maybe, but the what appears to be the gameplay camera angle, like it feels like the camera's a little low. Maybe it's just for the trailer and it's just a cinematic thing and the game's not actually like this, but I hope it is, because I really like this kind of slightly lower angle that a lot of these shots have. But yeah, this looks super just approachable, super pick up and play, good times. And it's right around the corner. This game's out in like a month and a half. It's less than 2 months from now. So yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, we should go back. The game we kicked off with, Revenge of the Savage Planet. This one, ton of charm. We'll pull this video up here in a second, but you've got physics-based, goofy comedy, survival, exploration. You can spray a bunch of stuff on a bunch of different space animals. You got multiplayer. You can manipulate the game world. Very colorful. You mentioned charm, Guy, and this to me, it certainly oozes charm right out of the screen. I mean, it just seems, again, like a pretty lighthearted, stress-free, could be fun. This game I could see being fun to just like get online with your friends in there and just chat, like just catch up with your friends without any real stress or even competition necessarily. So can you kind of talk a little bit more about Revenge of the Savage Planet here, Guy?
Yeah, so this is just one of those games where I think it's the type of experience you want to jump into with your friends and goof around for a bit. So I think you did a great job of describing it there. And the first game did a great job coming to Game Pass. It did really well in the service. It had a ton of players. So yeah, like I think there's a big audience for this one on Xbox based on the people that played the previous one. So yeah, it's going to come out. I think did they say May the 8th in the trailer? So not too long to wait for this one.
Yeah, it's quite different from Journey of the Savage Planet. I mean, visually, conceptually, it looks very similar to Journey, but it is actually quite different. So, I mean, can you speak to sort of the transitions that they've made from the first game to this one, where the first game was more of like a almost felt like a Metroid Prime, where like it's more of like a exploration, like a progression sort of single player experience, to something that's quite different in like scope and scale and sort of direction?
Yeah, yes, there's definitely a lot more that they're bringing to this game. I think compared to the first game, there's just like so many more options for players. There's like, you know, more tools, more variety of like play styles that they can have in it. Yeah, like it's really awesome to see. I think like the studio just continue to build on that first game. I think there's some areas that are full familiar, but yeah, they're definitely taking it in a new bold direction as well.
Cool. Yeah. One of my favorite things about Journey also at the time was that it was like a satire of corporate life and capitalistic systems, and, you know, taking a goofy approach to poking at those things as well. But I think in the world we live in nowadays, you look back on Journey and be like, maybe it's not so satirical anymore. And I hope that they kind of like lean into that direction even harder. Is there anything you could share in terms of like the story that is surrounding Revenge compared to Journey?
Not at this stage. I think I've only played a short amount of this one, so it's one that I'm looking forward to playing a lot when it comes out. But yeah, it's definitely got that like goofy charm that the first one has. So that's something that I'm excited about.
Cool.
Miranda, which of these adorable animals in the trailer, these space animals, is the cutest one?
Probably the first one they show that they goo. It's really funny. I not you'd probably expect the small fluffy one with the big eyes. Not that one. Not it's the first one. It's a little. The eyes are too big. I'm glad we explode it. It's good. But no, this trailer is fantastic. It's so funny. It's like such a great way to start the showcase.
Absolutely. Guy, you mentioned when you were talking about this one that the first one saw a lot of success on Game Pass. To kind of take a quick mini tangent here before we get back to talking about the rest of the games, I'm curious, what does that mean in the sense of, because in the pre-Game Pass traditional historical gaming model, it's just how many copies did it sell? But with Game Pass, where you can buy a game in Game Pass for a discount, and I'm sure that's one of the metrics you look at, but like, when you say it did well in Game Pass, talking about Journey to the Savage Planet, like, does that mean, is it like a Netflix thing where it's like one of the more played games in ID at Xbox on Game Pass? Or I know you can't speak to like specific numbers, but can you speak maybe a little bit to holistically how you look at and measure success when it comes to the ID at Xbox program, and maybe specifically as it pertains to Game Pass?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that success can look different for any game and any developer, whether that's on Xbox or in Game Pass as well, right? So, if you take a game like Journey to the Savage Planet, you can look at like how many people played the game in Game Pass, like how long they played it for, like the sort of like player behaviors whilst the game was in the service as well, right? Like how often they came back and played it, like all these types of things, right? So there's a ton of different metrics that we can consider towards that. But yeah, like different games have like different ways to be successful on the platform and in Game Pass. Like we're just looking at like the Tanuki, right? Yeah. I think it's awesome that people can like jump into that game. It acts like a palate cleanser. I think that, having that game in the service alongside like Xbox's first party titles as well, right? There's like a ton of different roles that content can have in providing the depth and breadth of experiences that makes for like a really awesome like quality catalog of content. So yeah, like success could look different for different developers, and the first one did really well. We're really happy with the amount of fans it had on Xbox and with Game Pass, and that definitely contributes towards us wanting to work again on the sequel, right?
Good stuff. Miranda, back to you. Which game would you like to talk about next of the many, many games in this showcase?
Outbound, which is obviously such a me game. Speaking of other like kind of comfortable, fun games, palate cleansers, sometimes as far as palate cleansers go, I'll actually look for games that have like super short experiences as well that I can play in between. Say like if I have like 4 hours of meetings, I'm like, I just need to like rinse out my brain. This is not quite that, but I think I look for like other sorts of cozy games, whether it's like after a really long day or something. And this one just feels like it's got the customization. It's obviously got this like cute camper. I can't tell you how many like there's a lot of cute camper videos on YouTube, guys. People restore their campers and make really cool things. And now you can do this and make a little greenhouse on top, which is even better. So this was just immensely my vibe. I was like, yeah, this is a Miranda game through and through.
I'm so glad you mentioned this one, because this is actually the one that I was going to bring up next when it came back around to my turn. So I'm really glad you mentioned it, because to me, number one for me here, the thing that draws me in right off the bat is the art style, because it's a little Firewatchy, and maybe part of that's the setting too, right? Like
yeah, I thought of that too. It's like the pleasant Firewatch.
But yeah, it's like instead of being Firewatch, but instead of being the lookout, you're just a citizen coming to camp in the national park in your camper van. But yeah, it's just, I love the art style. And as you said, it's just, oh yeah, look at mega producer Tayo bringing it with that Firewatch footage right away. Man, I missed that game. What a great one-off that it ended up being. But hey, those guys went on to contribute to Half-Life Alyx, so I can't really complain. But yes, Outbound just seems like you can just sink yourself in it for 10 minutes or an hour or 4 hours or however much you really want to. Michael Hyam, you gonna lose yourself in this one from time to time?
Maybe. I mean, I tend to be in the mood to attack and dethrone God in my RPGs, but I do like to take my breaks and have games where I'm not trying to be as powerful as a god. But which is going to tie to another game I want to talk about. But there is something nice about having something like I really liked Unpacking, which I was surprised by. Like I saw it and I'm like, I don't know if that's for me. I'm gonna give it a shot. And then, a couple hours later, I'm like, oh, this is actually starting to like be a very tranquil experience. And, a lot of people get that sort of thing from like an Animal Crossing or like a power wash simulator. So there is something valuable about having that stress-free experience, even though building out your camper might seem like work, but there is something nice to creating your own space and making it yours. And I feel like there are a lot of games that have elements of that. Even something like Starfield, where there's an element where you're like building your own base on a planet somewhere else. There was like, instead of going down these side quests where I'm trying to hunt down some evil corporate goon or whatever, I could go to a planet and just start building my own space, my own camp. And there's something very, very valuable about that experience. And if a game like dedicates itself to that specific sort of thing, like Outbound, it seems, there's an appetite for this sort of game too, whether it be someone's palate cleanser or the type of thing that they want to get into specifically. So it's always nice to see more and more games like this, because with each one, none of these games are one-to-one copying each other, right? Developers don't do that, but they do take inspiration, and on top of that, they do their own unique thing on top of that. So that's how you get innovation in mechanics, and they might be similar in taste and in look, but I think through that you get a lot more interesting mechanics. Or they're trying to mix things up with building, with crafting, planting your own vegetables and stuff, and I don't know if there's a survival element to it, but there's always iteration, there's always innovation on top of what we've already had. So the more and more games I see like this, I think that the more variety that you'll get, and you'll see the genre being pushed forward as well.
I'm very happy and proud to say that IGN exclusively revealed this game about a year ago, and everybody took to it right away. It did almost 500,000 views for the announcement trailer on our channel, which for a game, an independent game that no one's ever heard of before, that's pretty darn impressive. So, Guy, when you first get wind of this, I don't know if you sought them out or they sought you out, or you'd seen something online and reached out. How important is that sort of first impression, both for you and then trying to think about it as when the game actually comes out?
Yeah. So we've been chatting to the team for quite a time on this one. And I think this is the first time we've actively been able to talk about the game coming to Xbox, which is really exciting. And we have these conversations all the time with independent developers about, hey, when's the best time and best way to release and announce your game? I think this is a situation where we love the game since the moment we saw it before it was announced, but them partnering with you on the exclusive announcement and the anticipation that that's been able to create for the game, we pick up on that as well, right? We're following reactions to game in the media and from players as well. So yeah, it's definitely something that we keep an eye on. I'm really looking forward to this one. I play a ton of survival games, so Valheim and Ark Survival are some of my favorite games of all time for sinking hours into. And whilst this game doesn't have the survival elements, it's got that open world exploration and the crafting piece. So it's almost the go in, design, craft, build your camper van. It's the kind of most relaxing parts of those games without the stress. So yeah, this one I think is one I'll definitely be playing a lot of.
Michael, throw a game out. What do you got?
I was talking about attacking and dethroning God. So the one game I'm curious about now that I've seen it multiple times, is 33 Immortals, which I first played during the summer of 2023, I believe.
Yep, me too. I was there as well.
You were in that room. I remember that because I was like, oh, that's Ryan McCaffrey. He doesn't know me, but I know him. We played that game together.
We did.
Unknowingly, I guess.
And Destin was there as well.
Oh, yeah. Because we went through like that theater, and then they took us in a back room. We went through a hallway, and there's like, boom, here's 33 Immortals. Or then there's like other games on top of that. But I remember playing it in its early build because I think like Hades was still like very much in the conversation about like action games, roguelikes. But this, 33 Immortals is like so heavily emphasizes co-op. And that was a really fun twist on something that felt familiar at the time. But that was 2 years ago. So I just kind of want to get an idea of the progress that team has made and some of the things they were able to really hone in on in the time since we last played this game.
Guy, can you speak to that at all? It's been a long road on this one. Like where it's been in the public eye. I mean, I'm sure you work with developers for many, many years before a game sees the light of day all the time, but this is one where they've been showing it, they've been iterating on it. So kind of what's the process for kind of finding that balance between like, all right, we want to keep supporting you guys, but like, all right, now we want to crank up the hype machine on this. Like this is now going into early access in a month.
Yeah, I mean, we're really led by the developer on this one. So Thunder Lotus have been great partners of Xbox for many, many years, going back to when we had Spiritfarer on stage with us at E3. Like, we'll always remember that game because it was the game after the Keanu Reeves "You're Beautiful" moment. Yeah. So I think like us and the team will always remember that. Like 33 Immortals, I think we announced that at our Xbox Games Summer Showcase 2 years ago now. So yeah, we really we're developer led in terms of how much time they need to finish and make the game and realize their vision. We're here to empower and support them and not get in the way. But when they're ready to talk about the game, when they're ready to lock in on a release date, they're making sure that they've got all the support that they need to hit that date and shout about the game as well. This was just really ambitious, right? Going from single player experiences in the past up into 33 player co-op, that's ambitious. And, I'm sure that it takes a little bit of time to make sure you get that right.
I will say, and Michael, I'm sure you'd agree, even the 2 years ago, the 2-year-old build was super fun. Like this game, there is definitely something here. And just my first reaction, I think the first thing I wrote down in my notes as I was watching this trailer for the first time is it's you can see it right on the screen. Like it looks way more done than not that it looked raw or unfinished 2 years ago, but it's just, you can tell it's been polished up a lot.
We saw a really specific slice of it at the time. And for me, I'm like, oh, okay, like it feels like feature complete. But from this trailer, it's like, oh, there's so much more than those wherever we were, like in the depths of hell or whatever, that specific environment that we played through for the demo build. It's like, oh, there's so much more on top of that. And so it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're seeing a lot of the similar stuff that we played in that early build, but on a bigger scale, seeing 33 player co-op. I think we only had about 6 or 7 people, which is still pretty wild for a co-op game. Usually think of 4 players max, right? So yeah, it feels like that, oh, okay, this is the full extension of the idea of the game starting to come together in full scale. And so and it being early access too, I think there's just a lot of benefit for this style of game. There's a lot of benefit in going into early access. I mean, I mentioned Hades, of course, and that game was built off the back of continually iterating through an early access program. And something like Game Pass, it feels like it gives them the room to kind of, based on community feedback, based on extra ideas that they weren't able to put in the early access build, games like this have a lot of room to evolve, even when the core idea is already strong.
And Guy, I would have to imagine that this one's going into Game Pass, and that it not only, I'm sure it'll make business sense sometimes, maybe sometimes it doesn't make business sense for one side or the other to go Game Pass. But with this one, it probably makes a lot of sense for the game, completely independent of the business side of things, because it's 33 players. So by going into Game Pass, you're really making it very easy for anyone to jump in and have that larger pool of players to link up with when you get online.
Yeah, we make sure every developer feels happy about coming to Game Pass and what that looks like for them. And I think this is an example of a game where it makes a ton of sense to have an injection of that Game Pass community where we have 34 million subscribers, and however many of them want to go in and play the game day one. I think it's going to be like really beneficial for a game that's got 33 player co-op. Like you don't see too many of those. So.
Well, as we're running out of time here, the last game that I want to talk about is probably the most Ryan game in the showcase, which is Herdling. Herdling for me, and I see Miranda's like, "Yep, that's you." You've got a beautiful art style, you've got no dialogue, you've got emotion conveyed through a nonverbal story, you've got puzzles, you've got animals to adore. This just looks exactly like my kind of jam. It's probably 4 to 6 hours long. It's just like it's going to tell some beautiful story, I'm sure. Guy, can you talk about finding this one and linking up with the developers here, and if you've had a chance to, I don't know if you've had a chance to play this one yet, or what you've seen of it beyond this trailer, if you can kind of talk about your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to play this one yet, but I've seen a bunch of like videos and materials like internally on it. Just feels really unique, right? Like going on that like epic adventure whilst you're herding these creatures that I haven't quite worked out what they are yet, but they look pretty cool, and I want to learn more about them. So yeah, they've announced a release date for this one, that it's coming to Xbox. I think we've got a wish list available for it on the store as well, so people should definitely go and check that if they're interested in the game to make sure they continue to learn more about it.
Miranda, you must have a comment on this adorable game.
They're so cute. I can't get over it. And then they already teased in the trailer that stuff is gonna happen to them, and I'm like, oh, just protect them.
Oh, you're saving them from the grimy city life and realizing that you deserve to be out in nature, free from screens and electronics, which is a good message, I think.
Yeah, get outside, kids.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cute. I really like it.
There were too many good games in this showcase. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We have come to the end here of Podcast Unlocked. Episode 681, Guy Richards, director at ID at Xbox. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and put this showcase together with us. Love that all these games just keep coming. As Miranda said, all these very diverse games. There's games for everybody in here. And we at IGN are really proud and grateful to be able to show off 20-something of them here over the course of that showcase. So, Guy, thank you. Miranda, Michael, and our awesome producer, Tayo. This was Podcast Unlocked, episode 681, and we'll see you back here next week.
Hey there, friends, don't go anywhere. Coming up, we've got a look at Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, the follow-up to Ultimate Chicken Horse from Clever Endeavor Games, a studio that seems determined to make cartoon versions of the entire animal kingdom fight to the death in ridiculously slapstick ways. It's a very specific goal, but we support it. Check it out.
You're watching IGN FanFest. 2016's Ultimate Chicken Horse was a fantastic party platforming game that was only missing one thing: even weirder animals. Here to tell us all about the follow-up, Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, is Richard Atlas, Fabio Grisi, Austin Jobry, and Ed Brazil from Clever Endeavor Games. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, Ultimate Sheep Raccoon is the follow-up to Ultimate Chicken Horse, but for anyone who's unfamiliar with these games, what are these games all about?
So Ultimate Chicken Horse, at first, is a party platformer where you build the level while you play. So you place things in the level and then run across to the end, and your goal is to make it hard enough for everybody else, but easy enough for you. And that was this game, as you mentioned, that came out 2016. We've had great success with that game, and this is the next rendition. So you're racing bikes across the screen, but you're also placing traps and obstacles in the way to mess with your friends. But everybody's got to run through the same race. So every time you try and screw your friends over, you're also screwing yourself over.
Who gets to place traps? How is that determined?
Everybody.
Everyone.
So
does.
everybody places traps, everybody runs through.
Okay. So it's fair. Everyone's playing fair. Do you have to have played Ultimate Chicken Horse to understand what's going on in Ultimate Sheep Raccoon?
No, definitely not. It feels different. In one of them, you're running around, you're sprinting, you're wall jumping. That's Ultimate Chicken Horse. In this one, you're racing your bike, you're angling yourself back and forwards, you're going off ramps, you're doing backflips. It's a different kind of style, even though the core of placing a thing and then running through the level is the same kind of loop.
So when you launched Ultimate Chicken Horse 8 years ago, did you ever fathom it would take off as much as it did?
We never thought or knew that it was going to take off like it did. At each step of the way, we were kind of showing the game to small groups and getting good feedback, and then showing the game to slightly larger groups and getting more feedback. And at each step of the way, we were kind of like, well, if this works, we'll keep working on it. And I think that was really key to actually making the game as good as it was. So by the time it came out, it had gone through all that vetting process. We weren't just like, oh, we're going to build a thing for a year and a half and then launch it, and it's going to be great,
So in Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, I think there are both power-ups and traps available. What are some examples of some fun tools that we have available to us?
Yeah, so new from the previous game are power-ups. So those allow you to kind of build up your arsenal of abilities other people don't have. You can do things like slow down your opponents with like honey that you can throw on the floor, or there's things like passive boosts to your speed or to jumping, or active things like an actual like soda pop can that launches you forward and can give you a boost out of a bad situation. For traps and hazards, it's a lot of similar things from last time, like things like just a spiky ball that's just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or other things that are new to the game, like zones for going faster or for jumping over obstacles and stuff.
So this time around, Chicken and Horse are joined by Sheep and Raccoon. Do these characters play differently from each other, or are they cosmetic skins?
So to make sure that it stays fair for everybody, we make sure that all the characters play the same, even though they look different. And while Chicken and Horse got the main title for the first game, we wanted to give characters 3 and 4 the limelight for this one. So that's why this one's Sheep Raccoon.
The game's going to be cross-platform, is that correct?
Yes, that is the plan. Yeah, we're still pretty early in development, as you'll see with the gameplay footage. But the plan is to have it cross-platform across all consoles, PC, etc.
All right, well, talking about animals beating each other up is fun, but actually making it happen ourselves sounds even better. So here to do just that are my IGN friends, Jobert, Luis, and Nick. Let's play some Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. Okay. So what is this level? What do we need to know about this one?
This is Scrapyard. Okay. This is Scrapyard. We'll get into the level. First thing is choosing your blocks. So a pop-up is going to show up, and you can choose your blocks. You can rotate them to bumpers, and then you can place them. And we'll see that because we're playing 8 players, only 4 players are going to get to place at once, and then the next round, the other 4 players are going to play. So you can see all the different blocks here. They have these little animations when you hover over them. And we've got a variety of different blocks, like this pendulum swinger that I'll grab, which can bump people around. We've got rails, we've got a coin. Yeah, we'll get more into that as we play.
I will give you guys a secret, because I like you guys and I want you to do well. If you're going on a treadmill that's going the wrong way for you, doing a wheelie can help you bypass that if you want to be fancy. You can use your triggers to rotate your character a little bit and pop a wheelie.
We're getting live game help here.
So I want this fan to knock people into that thing, so...
How devious of you.
I mean,
watch out for the hole at the beginning. Wow, everybody got over that hole.
Okay, let's go, let's go. Ah! No. Poor raccoon.
Wow. Amazing. I got blown away by the thing that I placed. Sitting there with 0 points.
Spacey Chicken and Cool Ranch Sheep doing the exact same play every round. Very cool.
All right, choosing
so now the other
some
4
power-ups.
folks are going to place power-ups. Or sorry, blocks, not power-ups.
Oh, these are blocks, okay.
Yeah, it's still blocks, and every few rounds there are power-ups that we'll explain when we get there.
And Sheep, that coin you have, if you touch that coin during the game and make it to the end with that coin, then you get extra points for that as well.
Okay, got it. I'll give people a chance. I'll put it right here.
Give someone a team player. That's how the game starts, until you start losing. Then you gotta start hiding.
That's very helpful.
I will save one
That's very
person
helpful.
safety
Myself.
cannon,
That's very nice.
and it will be me.
Only the first person to touch it.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh no! No! Don't hit me with that!
Come on, horse!
Oh, bye.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, no.
How do you wheelie?
And I died.
Oh, damn it.
Yes. Okay.
I was off screen too long.
Not dead.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who got the coin? I
Me.
didn't even get
Coin
Huh,
victory.
no.
So close.
Throw me a line.
Look at that.
Wow.
Coin and the trick.
Dang.
And the first place. Big jump.
I gotta do some more tricks.
How do you even do tricks?
I think when you jump in the air, you press.
Okay.
Yeah, LB, RB.
Okay.
You can like
LB,
spin
RB.
around. And
Okay.
So now we'll get to pick between some power-ups. There's passive and active power-ups. When you hover them, they'll let you know if there's a Y or B button you have to hit. If not, then it's just gonna happen passively. Power-ups last for the rest of the game, and they reset each round, and you can stack them. So if you take something like super speed or boost, if you take it more than once, like in a following power-up round, you'll have 2 boosts, or you'll have super speed, for example. And you can do tricks with the X button if you're on a Xbox controller, whatever the left face button
roll
is,
up.
if you're in the air.
Oh,
Wait for me.
all right. Oh, finally, I'm gonna actually make it across. No!
Oh, yeah!
Oh my goodness, no!
Yes!
Oh. Wow.
I spoke too soon. Oh, jeez.
I decided to do a trick at the very end. That was my demise.
I haven't even crossed the finish line like once yet. Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Just gotta believe in you.
I know.
Of course.
I know.
You got it. Believe in you.
I gotta dial in.
You just need a first place with a coin, with a. Here, this coin's for horse.
Horse is at the bottom of the scoreboard. Like, I remember when it was my game. This would never happen to me in Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Item placement.
Oh, whoa. Oh.
Where am I?
Okay.
Am I
Okay.
alive?
Survived.
Okay. What just happened? Why did I
Definitively
roll?
did not survive.
No!
Oh no, you fell. You're alive. You're alive. You're alive. Wheelie wheelie. Yeah.
No. Why can't I? Okay, here we go. Here we go.
There you go. It's got the umbrella. Ooh,
I'm
it's
moving up.
Becoming a tight race here.
Oh,
Look at
creeping.
Yep. Money Horse Spicy Chicken's coming for you.
that. Tied. Cool Ranch sheep. On the way up.
How can I actually help people?
Let's take a
I guess I can't help.
How can I actually help? Is not a thing you hear very much
Give me no choice.
in this game.
What's the worst block right now? What can I get rid of?
Right there.
I think him. I think he's the worst block.
Can you get rid of something that was just placed in this round?
That's someone just
so
placed.
right now you can because it's early, but that's actually a planned feature to stop that.
Okay,
They'll
wait.
have a little force to attack them.
All right, first place. Let's go.
I am dead.
Back on screen. Let me back on screen.
Hey, Korean Sheep, wait, show.
Got knocked off.
What?
Come on, chicken.
What the heck?
Come on, chicken.
Chicken!
Let's go. Oh,
Yeah!
Trick finish.
Wow.
I like the music.
Okay, it's still.
Oh, did my little flip not count as a trick?
All right, cheap team, let's go.
You might
You
have
might
to
not have
land
like
it.
finished it in time, yeah.
Okay.
Try to pull one off at the very end.
I think you got to do the double boost.
I'm doing the same thing.
I've been wasting my boost by using it right at the start and then ending up way behind everybody.
Okay, here we go.
Wasted my boost by forgetting I
Oh my god, I am so
Wait, can
fast.
I cannot see myself.
Hey, okay, slow down for a second, everybody. Let's just take a second. Let's chill out. Alright, I'm cool. Now you guys can go fast again. Thanks.
Yes.
What?
I boosted it right at the end. I think it might have gotten me there first.
Let's see it.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
All right, come on, chicken.
Things
We
are
go
changing.
up.
Oh my god, I dipped so far down now.
Alright, no more of that, Rich.
Oh, we'll see about that. Now I got double boost. Now I'm gonna get a coin that I'm gonna place somewhere that you're not gonna see where it is.
Where we going?
You don't have to destroy something if you don't want to either. You could just go into the air, but
Yeah, you can just blow it up.
oh no, that was such a mistake. Oh no.
Yes, yeah. No!
Oh, so I did a trick, but fell
Did you
off
fall
my
into the
bike.
hole?
I was going so fast.
I don't know where I am.
No, wait, get up there!
Oh, no way!
Cool
The
race.
wall crawler!
What?
Not the wall crawl!
I think I'm
Breaks
full.
that down to the
I think that's me. I think that's me.
There's still hope.
Oh, so it's stuck.
Keep jumping.
Wait. You can hold B. Hold B to reset. You can still do it. You can still have time.
Oh no.
Where to go?
Oh, I have to start over?
13 seconds.
Okay, here we go.
10 seconds.
Go,
You
go,
have to
go.
want it, Raccoon. Never give up. 5 seconds, Raccoon.
Oh my god. No. Oh my god. But I'm in last place. Get F. Come on.
Yeah, I think like wall crawling should give me like 9,000 points.
Imagine it shows you the text on the side. Wall crawler.
Oh man. That was
Haha,
excellent.
no, I'm gonna remove that.
Yeah, we can pretend it's not a bug. At this point in development, there's a lot of bugs that become features.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go.
Oh, wow.
That's very generous of you. There you go. That's for me.
Wow.
Oh, so nobody take it.
It's just
Yeah.
whoever gets
my
there
coin.
first. All right, guys, I'm not messing around this time. Good luck.
No, me neither.
Can everyone slow down for a
Oh,
second?
I should have done that. Oh, Rich, you're so much smarter.
I said,
oh,
thank you very much.
but then
I like the umbrella. You can just kind of sail through the level.
Stop touching that.
There we go.
2 rounds remaining.
Is that it, or is there really 2 rounds remaining?
I think that might be it. Oh no.
No, I think we got
that's
time.
Place.
Did Cool Ranch Sheep do something? Nope, I'm cool.
Yes. Ooh, money horse.
No! Money Horse got a coin and instantly went to first place. It's like his passive ability. That's not. Disclaimer: not a real mechanic.
Not a real mechanic. Okay. I'm going
What's
jetpack.
the power up that's gonna win me the video game right now? Super jump.
If you can control the jetpack, it's very powerful. But
it's arguably too powerful if you're an expert pilot. Oh no! Oh, bad start. Uh-oh.
I screwed myself.
Guys, wait. Oh no. Who was that just won? Regular Sheep? It might be okay.
No, not over it.
Money horse.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, but that was not a high place finish at least.
Who's Raccoon?
So
yeah, I don't.
I'm Raccoon.
Oh, did you just like Mary Poppins your way?
Yeah.
Like,
Let's see if that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
oh, jeez.
I had
Real
a trick
sheep.
to it.
Real sheep.
Real sheep with the win. Cool Ranch isn't real.
Cool
oh no,
Ranch
this is the final round.
imagination.
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay, listen, this is it, lads. There's a lot of people who could win. There's like 4 people who cannot win. The rest of us have a real good chance.
But those people are just going to try to sabotage everything. And I think I might be one of those people.
No, Money Horse, wait. Money Horse, be cool.
Be cool.
No, be cool, Money Horse.
Let's see, how can I do more damage here?
Oh yeah, right after that speed thing would kill like 4 people, I think.
Oh god.
The right 4 people though, or the wrong 4 people? That's kind of the question.
Not me. I'm going above, so it's the right 4 people.
Bye.
Oh, that was me.
Somebody touch that for me. Somebody touch that for me. Thank you. Gonna hear trigger on this jump button.
No, wait.
Wait, no!
Yes, first place.
Oh, Cool Ranch.
I threw it all away.
I mean, I think Fabio came second, so I think that's gonna.
Alright,
clinch
chicken.
it.
Let's get first.
I threw.
There's money.
Oh, Money Horse!
Money horse.
Money horse.
Money Horse.
Oh wow.
Wow, good game.
That was a game.
I'm sweating. That was good. That was a good game.
Yeah, GG.
And that was Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. Go wishlist Ultimate Sheep Raccoon right now if you too would like to get in arguments with friends, coworkers, and family members. We've got lots more FanFest ahead right here on IGN, so don't go anywhere.
FanFest is presented by the Army National Guard. Rise to every challenge and overcome everything. The next greatest generation is now.
IGN Store has it all. From clothes and collectibles to vinyl records, accessories, model kits, and action figures from the biggest and best franchises like The Legend of Zelda. Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop culture passion, you're guaranteed to find something you love. There are new and exciting products hitting the store every week, like the Wasteland-ready Fallout Vault 33 hoodie, which pairs perfectly with the working wearable Pip-Boy. Plus, high-quality IGN store exclusives like the powerful and spicy Star Wars Darkside Hot Sauce by Truff. We've even got merchandise for you to rock while tuning in to the IGN shows and podcasts you love. Or cap off a long day by relaxing to the soundtracks of your favorite video games, like Cyberpunk and The Last of Us. And the best part? You don't even need to leave the house to go there. Just head to store.ign.com and start shopping today. The IGN Store. You deserve it. Catch up on your up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with IGN Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases.
Obviously, we're going to do Game of the Year watch.
Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Y'all gonna have to let me cook, because these game devs need to learn a lesson.
Everything Xbox on Podcast Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Seth Macy's candidate for Game of Infinity.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Check out the sophisticated tech breakdowns on Digital Foundry Direct Weekly,
which is an absolutely beautiful game.
And dip into the business of games on the GamesIndustry.biz microcast.
We are going to be digging into the biggest stories of the past week.
IGN Podcasts.